Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Magic in the Basement. Today we're doing another Commander Deck Tech homebrew type thing with Aminatou. Um, I like this commander because not necessarily for a +1 because honestly I don't have that many miracles, and for these colors there's only a handful. And since this deck was released, the best miracle for blue, what was that? It's the take the extra turn one for 1 mana. Miracle cost. What is? I forget the name, but it shot up to like $15, maybe more now. But it was like a $4 card, and with the popularity of this deck, it shot up quite a bit. So I don't like this commander for that. I like it mainly for her -1. Um, I really like the -1 because you can do some crazy stuff with that, with the ability with like enter the battlefield triggers and stuff. So that's why I like her. Um, Before I get into the video, on my yesterday's video, I talked about how I was changing the rules slightly to the giveaway, so it would encompass all my videos that you could share from the time of. I just wanted to, repeat that because we're now up to 9 shares of total videos, and just wanted to give you an update on that. So, with more videos being able to be shared to be counted for the contest, it should be easy to get up to 100 shares for the extra $10 gift card for the giveaway. I mean, because you could pick any of them or share them all, whatever. It's got more options for you guys. So I just wanted to do a little update on that to let you guys know about that and what the share count is right now. Um, Remember, 50 shares of any videos now, everybody gets an additional entry into the contest. At 100 shares, I will put an additional $10 gift card into the prize pool. Now, remember, I will be doing the drawing on October 7th. I'll be doing it in a video. I'll show you guys. I will write down. I won't take the time and write down each name on camera, but I will show you that everybody's marked for however many entries they have, and then I'll shuffle them up like a deck and draw a winner, maybe two, if we get 100 shares. All right. Anyway, that being said, let's get into this deck. Um, like I said, with her as the commander, I tried to do focus on creatures with enter the battlefield effects or leave the battlefield effects. So you could blink it and get it multiple times. And then I have a bunch of creatures, well, not a bunch, but a few that work with recursion. So not only can you get to enter the battlefield triggers, but you can also recur them if they die, etc. And this actually making this deck, it actually is more control-y than I thought it would be. But I mean, you got blue, black, and white together, so it's kind of hard not to be somewhat controlling. All right. Anyway, let's get into it. This is our commander. 3 mana for a 3 loyalty planeswalker. +1, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. This is good for the miracles. Like if you have a miracle in your hand or draw its second or third card on your turn and you don't get the miracle ability, with her out, you could simply put it back on top of your deck and get it for its miracle cost next turn. Very good for that in that respect. Her -1 is the one I like that I talked about. Exile another target permanent you owned, then return it to the battlefield under your control. Now this I like more than regular, blank mechanics, because this is any permanent. This is artifacts, this is enchantments, creatures, planeswalkers. So you can do a lot of crazy shenanigans with this ability. Remember, If you blink a Planeswalker, it returns to its starting loyalty. So if you have, like, for example, of Vraska, and you like to minus her so she could come in, minus, kill something, you can blink her, she'll go back to starting loyalty, minus her again, repeat, and blow up any creatures you want. Just an example. I have quite a few combos revolving around this ability in this deck, and we'll get to those. And then her -6 is choose left or right. Each player gains control of all 9-land permanents other than Aminatou by the player chosen next to them. So pretty much it shifts the permanents around. I guess this could be fun or interesting if their circumstances are right for it. Like if somebody's got a killer board position and you want their permanents, or they have something on the field that would work great for your hand, and you have the ability to ultimate. I've in playtesting this, I've never ultimated her because I just use her for her -1 mainly. So let's get into the deck. Alright, we'll do our instances. We've only got 2 in this deck. We've got Banishing Stroke, 6 mana instant. Put target artifact, creature, or enchantment on the bottom of its owner's library. For 6 mana, it's garbage, but for the 1 miracle, it's great. Like I said, I've only got a couple miracles. This is one of them. It's great for 1 mana. Then we've got Utter End, exile target 9-land permanent. Also a great spot removal. Get something rid of, and it's exiles, so you don't have to worry about recursion. Let's do our sorceries. We've got Karma's Vengeance, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. You could cycle it if you don't need to blow it all up. We've got Terminus, 6 mana. Put all creatures on the bottom of their owner's library. Now, for 6 mana, that's actually not horrible. But if you miracle it, you could do it for 1 mana. Way better. Devastation Tide, 5 mana. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hand. Again, not bad for 5 mana. But if you could do it for its miracle cost of 2, why wouldn't you? Alright. Merciless Eviction, classic board wipe. You get to pick what you want to wipe, and it exiles them instead of destroys them. Fumigate, good old board wipe. You gain life for each creature that got blowed up. Hour of Rev, destroy all 9-land permanents. But if there's 10 or more 9-land permanents on the board, it costs 3 less. So you could board wipe for 3 mana. Route, 5 mana, destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Or you could pay 7 and use it at instant speed. Or flash speed. Whatever. Alright, and then Entreat of Angels, XX, 3 mana, create X4 4/4 flying angel tokens with flying. Not great for its regular mana cost, but for its miracle cost, it can get ridiculous. In playtesting, I've gotten on average, about 6 angels out of this for its miracle cost. There was one time where I got, 12 out of it. So it can be very powerful, especially after a board wipe or something. Then you get a bunch of angels. Something to think about. Alright. Next, we'll move on to some enchantments, because there's only a few. We've got Open Graves. This is just for, there's a lot of board wipes in this. So it helps you when you go to wipe the board and you got a bunch of creatures. You get black zombies. Why not? So everybody else loses all their creatures. You just get zombies. Replace them with zombies. It's pretty good. Good old Blind Obedience. Artifacts of creatures opponents control enter tapped, so it slows them all down like those hasty creatures. So what? They're tapped. Big whoop. Now you don't. Your haste doesn't matter. The best part is the extort. It drains your opponent, and you gain life. Whenever you cast a spell, you can do a white or a black. That's honestly the best part of this card, in my opinion. And then we've got Cathar's Crusade. Now this actually works extremely well in this deck because it says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, not whenever you cast a creature. So if you're blinking creatures, it works. So you put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So, like if you have those bunch of angels, boom. Now you blink a different creature, they're all getting bigger and bigger. You know, if you have a bunch of other like 1/1 spirit tokens or whatever, blink a creature, they're getting bigger. This is a great card, not in general, but it's even better when you can blink stuff over and over again. Also, like with recursion, very good. Like I'll show you an example. Like if you have this out, and then you hit something like, I'm sorry, getting to it. Where is it? Revelark. Okay, so if you play the Revelark, and then you get two creatures from your with 2 or less from your battlefield, from your graveyard to the battlefield. So right there, now that you just played the Revelark, so that's one creature that just came into the battlefield. Then it triggers, and then you're getting 2 more creatures into the battlefield. So you're getting 3 counters on all your creatures that are out. Granted, the new ones don't get all the counters because they don't get the Revelark one because they were already in the graveyard. They weren't on the field at the time. But all your other creatures, they get a 3 power boost. And then if you repeat this over and over again every turn with the Aminatou's minus ability, you're making your creatures very, very big. Alright. We go to artifacts. Most of the artifacts in this are mana rocks. There we go. Mana rock there. Soul Rain, classic. Signet. Yes, I am missing the Mirror Signet. I have to pick one up, but if I had it, it would be in here. So, here we go. Command Sphere. I put this one in here because it's 3 mana, so it's you can dig it out with Sun Titan, and so you could draw a card off of sacrificing every turn. You know, you could add a mana and sack it. You know, it's pretty good, and draw the card. Then we've got Ramos. Sorry, it's out of frame. Same principle, although you don't draw with this one, you just get extra mana off of it. So you could tap it for a blue, and then sack it and get an extra blue. Not bad. Not the best, but it's not horrible. Then we got what is that? Desecrated Tomb. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave the graveyard, create a 1/1 bat creature with flying. Pretty good because, like I said, with like the recursion aspect, you're going to make quite a few bats with this. Like for example, if you use the Revelark recursion, you're getting 2 bats each time you blink Revelark. Just an example off of that. There's other things, but that's just one example. Another mana rocky type thing. At first it's a wash. You put 2 into it to get 1 of any color out. But after you do that 3 times, you can tap it for 3 of any mana. So it's a slower mana rock, but it's good after the 3rd time. Love this thing. This thing is amazing because it doesn't say non-land. That's why I like it. 7 mana. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. Boom. And then when it's put into the graveyard, return it to its owner's hand. So it's hard as heck to get rid of. But the reason why I like it, like I said, it doesn't say non-land, so you can blow up people's lands with this. Anything but their lands. If they're hard up for lands, yeah, I'm just gonna make it that much worse for them. And with I like it because with Aminatou, every turn you get to blow up a permanent of your choice because you just blink it, boom, blink it, boom. You know, it's pretty good. On its first turn, you get to blow up 2 things if you choose. Because it comes in, blows up something, you use Aminatou's ability, blows up something else. Then we got Cauldron of Souls. I love this card in this deck because, like I said, there's a lot, if you remember, there's a lot of board wipes in this. And this kind of avoids the board wipes for your creatures because if they got persist, they just come back. So, you know, you could go, I'm going to fumigate. Okay, they can't be regenerated, but it doesn't say they can't be persisted. And this is what that does. It brings them back with -1, a -1/-1 counter on it. And then if you really wanted to, you could blink it with Aminatou, get rid of the counter, persist it again later. You can get into, those are very particular type combos, but they can work. And then good old Oblivion Stone. This is 3 mana, 4 to put a fake counter on something, 5 sacker, destroy each non-land permanent without a fake counter on it, then remove all fake counters from those permanents. Good old board wipe. But I love this because you get to select what you want. Like if you want something of yours really bad not to get blown up, you can do that. And another reason why I love it is it combos with Sun Titan. So what you can do is after you blow up the field, you can play Sun Titan, get it back on the field, then put a fake counter on Sun Titan, and then blow it up, and then swing with Sun Titan and get it back, and repeat. So you could have an infinite board wipe that you always keep a creature because of it. You know, it's great. I love it. It's a great combo. Sun Titan does a lot of work in this deck because when it attacks, you get something back, and when it enters the battlefield, you get something back. And so what I like to do is have it enter the battlefield, get the 3 or less back onto the battlefield, wait, attack with it. It's got vigilance, so it can block still. But when you attack with it, it triggers. So then you get another thing back from the graveyard. After it attacks, then you blink it to get another thing out of the graveyard. So it just gets crazy. But yep, those are our artifacts. Alright. Moving on to the creatures, which we have quite a few. This actually had more creatures than I expected it to have, but they're good creatures, and I like them. The Djinn of Wishes, flying. It comes in with 3 wish counters on it. Pay 4 mana, remove a wish counter, reveal the top card of your library. You can play it without paying its mana cost. If you don't, exile it. This is good with Aminatou's +1 ability because you can manipulate what's on top of your deck. So for 4 mana, you can cheat something out, like a 6 mana thing, or you know, something like an 8 mana thing, or whatever it may be. You can cheat it out because you know what's on top of it. So it's pretty good. And then when it runs out of fake counters, you can blink it, and it gets its fake counters back because it enters the battlefield with 3. So there you go. Next, we got Mentor to Meek. 2/2. When another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, you can pay 1 if you do draw a card. Pretty simple, but it works. And if you notice, it's also 3 mana and 2 power, so it works for Revelark and Sun Titan as a target to come back. Duplicate, 6 mana for a 2/4. When it comes in, you and you imprint it with a different creature, it gets power and toughness equal to that creature, as long as it stays in play. So it's kind of like an O-ring, but it copies its power and toughness. You know what I mean? But the cool part is you can blink this later on and choose a different target. Like if there's a bigger threat, you can do that. As long as the... Huh. I don't know if they get it back. I'll have to look that up. Because it says you exile it. And it says as long as a card exiled with duplicate, it gets its power and toughness and creature types of the last. So I wonder if it comes back or not. I have to rule check that. But if it doesn't, that's even way better than I thought. Because you could just blink something every turn and then, you know, just get it back and keep doing that. I'll have to check on that and I'll let you guys know. Or, you know, you guys could look it up. I'm not sure. It's up to you. I will check on that and let you guys know in my next video. But still, even if it doesn't work like that, you can always blink it to get rid of a bigger threat later. Good old Blood Baron. He's lifelink per white and black. Pretty good. As long as you have 30 life and an opponent has 10 or less, he gets +6/+6 and flying. Which, you know, in Commander, you start off with 40 life. So as long as you can stay above 30, you know, and you nuke somebody down pretty good, he gets very big. And he's got lifelink. So you can help sustain your life total with him. Also, he's an odd mana cost, which is relevant for this deck later on. I'll show you. We've got this guy. It's a 3/1 flash flying. I picked him because he's a cycling card, and I like it because he's also 3 mana. But when you cycle him, you can counter target activated or triggered ability you don't control. So not only are you countering an ability, a triggered ability, you're drawing a card off of it. I like that. Avatar of Woe. 6/5 fear. Tap to destroy creature. But if there's 10 or more creature cards in all graveyards, it costs 6 less to cast. So you could potentially get this out mid-game for 2 mana. Very powerful card. Here's another sort of a mana rock. That's a creature too. 4 mana for 1/1. Now he comes into play with a 1/1 for each color you spent on him. So if you spent, like, you know, your 3 different color mana, it comes in with 3 1/1s on it. You can remove a 1/1 to add 1 of any color mana to your mana pool, and then you can tap him to put a 1/1 counter on him. Now he's good with Cathar's Crusade, because he will just get 1/1s out the wazoo when you blink creatures or play extra creatures. So he can become very dangerous as a big creature or as mana. You know what I mean? So, you know, he gets 3 or 4, you know, extra counters on him. Boom, you got like 4 extra mana that turn, and you take him down to, you know, no counters. He's still a 1/1 that you can pump back up later on, which is not bad. All right, here we go. 7 mana Sphinx, 5/4. When it enters the battle, when he's put into the graveyard, put it in your library 3rd from the top, and he cascades. So he's really hard to kill unless you exile it. And he's an odd mana, which, again, like I said, will matter later. Good old Cabal. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. A great hate card. Also, he's 2 power, so he works on Revelark trigger, and he's 3 mana, so he works on Sun Titan trigger, and he's an odd mana, which I'll show you why odd mana works for this deck. Because I put this one in here. Unette, as a legendary Sphinx, 5 mana for 3/5. Flying Vigilance Menace. And then when it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's an odd mana cost, you can cast it without paying its mana cost. If not, you draw a card. So either way, whenever this guy attacks, you're drawing a card. But if it's an odd mana cost, like this or this, you get it for free. So it's card advantage all the way around. And it's got, vigilance, so it's also a blocker, and flying, and menace. So it's good to get through. Good old Vincer, Flash. When he comes into play, he's 2/2, but when he comes into play, you bounce a spell or a permanent to its owner's hand. Pretty good if they have something pesky that you want to just bounce up. And like if he's all you got, you can blink him and bounce something every turn. Blood Tracker, pay 2 life. He's flying for a 2/2. Pay 2 life, put a 1/1 counter on him. When he leaves the battlefield, draw a card for each 1/1 counter on him. Now, I like this card because it's pretty much saying with Aminatou's ability to flash, blink something in, it's pretty much saying pay 2 life to draw a card. Because once you pay the 2 life, put a 1/1 counter on him, you could just blink him. He has a 1/1 counter, so you're drawing a card. So, he doesn't have to be huge to get dividends off of him with her ability. Also, with Cathar's Crusade, he can get huge with 1/1 counters without even having to put mana into life into it. So he's versatile. Also, thing to note in combat for combat tricks, it's not a tap ability. So as long as you've got black mana and 2 life, you can make him as big as he needs to be to block something that might kill you or whatever. Or they might not think and swing with something they need, thinking that you don't have a blocker big enough to kill it. And if you want to, he can become big enough to kill it. Good old Heart here. You sack it to get 2 basic lands in the battlefield tap. I like this because you're getting mana. That's a great mana accelerator. It's 3 mana, so it works with Sun Titan. And it's 2/2, so it works with the Revelark. So as you can see with these, these cards, a lot of them have the recursion synergy if they don't have the enter the battle synergy. Here's a good old hate card. Players can't search libraries unless they pay 2, which it's not. It doesn't stop it, but it taxes them. Like it does kind of stop if they don't have the mana to play it. Like if they tapped out for something and they don't think, you know what I mean. So it slows them down a little bit. Go Vendilion Click, 3/1 Flash, Flying Flash. This is 3 mana, so you can do this over and over with the Sun Titan. When it enters the battlefield, look at target player's hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player reveals the card, puts it on the bottom of the library, and then draws a card. You could do this to yourself if you need to draw a card, or if you want to slow somebody else down. Get a peek at their hand, see what's going on, and you may choose to put their best card on the bottom of their deck or whatever to get the draw, but it's slowing them down from that potential kill card or combo or something. And it's got flash, so you can do it anytime. And it's enter the battlefield, so you can do it, if they have multiple threats, you can Aminatou ability and do this multiple times. Alright. Spirit of the Hearth. Flying makes you have hexproof. I'll take hexproof. Bishop of Rebirth. Vigilance, it's a 3/4 Vig. When it attacks, you may return target creature with converted mana cost or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. And it's 5 mana, so it works with the Sphinx. So, and it's got the Vigilance, so you know it's good to attack, get something back, still be a blocker. Knight Incarnate, 5 mana. This is a leaves the battlefield trigger, so still works with Aminatou's ability. When it leaves the battlefield, all creatures gets -3/-3 until end of turn. And it's got Invoke, which you can pay a cheaper mana cost just to get its ability off because it will die when it comes into play. So yeah, this is like a controllable board wipe. As you see, it has 4 power, so it doesn't, you know, if you blink it doesn't kill itself. And it's got Death Touch. Alrighty. High Priest of Penance. Great card. Just because, you know, he's a 1/1 for 2, so he can be recurred with everything. And when he's dealt damage, you can destroy target non-land permanent. And just bring him back with something else. Do it again. Body Double can become a target of any creature in a graveyard. Very strong, and like with the blink ability, it can change its targets whenever you need it to. Alrighty. Here we go. Sower of Temptation. 4 mana for a 2/2 flying. When it enters the battlefield, gain control target creature as long as Sower of Temptation remains on the battlefield. So this is good because, granted, it's only a 2/2, so it's a little vulnerable, but it's good because you can change your targets with Aminatou. Also, you can steal a creature from them, and it combos with this guy, who you can tap 2, sacrifice street creature to draw a card. So what you can do is, if you got them both out, steal a creature, sack it, and draw a card. Then blink it with Aminatou to steal a different creature, sack it to draw another card. Just a way of, you know, making sure their creatures are gone in case they have a way to get rid of Sower. And if they do have a way to get rid of Sower, you can sack their creature and then Sower and draw 2 cards off of him. Pretty good. Alright. Pierce Strider, 4 mana for 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 3 life. Simple and great to be blanking. Lavina of the 10th. Pro Red. When it enters the battlefield, detain each non-land permanent your opponent's control with converted mana cost 4 or less. And detain is until next turn, until your next turn, those permanents can't attack, block, or activate abilities. So it's pretty good because you could, if they have a lot of smaller stuff, you know, this works on, you know, their mana rocks, stuff like that. If they have a lot of swarm like tokens or whatever, they can attack or block with them. And you can just keep detaining them over and over again with Aminatou's ability. Just keep flashing her. I mean, blinking her. Sorry. There's another Sphinx. Flying 4/4 for 4. When he attacks, each player chooses a card name, then reveals the top card of their library. If the card reveal is a chosen name, they put it in their hand. If it isn't, they put it at the bottom of the library. This is great with her Aminatou's first ability because you know what's going to be on top of your deck. So you get to pretty much draw the card that you name. It's good stuff. Alrighty. Dustmantle Seer, 4 mana for 4/4. It's flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player reveals the top card of his or her library. loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost, then puts it in their hand. So yeah, they get to accelerate their card draw, but it hurts them. And with Aminatou's +1 ability, you can manipulate what's on top of your deck so you don't get hurt that bad, or at all. Like if you put a land there, you're not gonna take the pain off of the land, you know. So this is pretty good. I like it at least. Good old sad robot, great for blinking. We got the loyal subordinate. That's one of the new cards. It's a 3/1 for 3. At the beginning of combat, if you got your commander, each opponent loses their life. I like that one. Little Drake, also a lieutenant ability. This one draws you a card. Got the Chupacabra when it comes into play. Destroy target creature. Opponent controls. I put this one in there as kind of a hate card because when it comes into battle play, you can remove all targets for all counters from target creature. It can't have counters put on it for as long as this remains in the battlefield. Also, or you can pick target opponent loses all counters. That player can't get counters for as long as it remains in the battlefield. I put this in as kind of a hate to poison, or I mean effect, because like if this comes in, you can't be infected, or you lose all your effect counters. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's weak. It's a pretty weak. It's 1/4, but because it's 2 mana, so it can come back in with Sun Titan, and it's 1 power, so it can come back in with Revlar. So it's really easy to come back. And like I said, it's not very strong, except against infect, or if somebody's doing like a Voltron type deck that has a lot of counters, you could just say, you know what, your commander's not getting counters on it anymore to try to, so it can't kill me as easily. Just something to think about. Maul Drifter, ridiculously good. I mean, you guys pretty much know what Maul Drifter is by now. It draws 2 cards when it comes into play. Reflector Mage, it comes into play. You bounce a creature to it's in its hand. They can't play it until your next turn. So good for bouncing stuff, and keeps it in their hand until your next turn. So they can't like flash it in or something, or play it on their turn. So if you really want it to be keep something off the board, you play this and keep blanking it with Aminatou. Here we go. Flying whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature with converted mana cost 0 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Daring Architect. When it comes into play, return an artifact from your graveyard to your hand. Also, whenever you cast a historic spell, he gets +1/+1. Jace's Archivist. 3 mana for a 2/2. Blue and tap it. Each player discards his or her hand and draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. I like this to refill your hand if you've played out your hand and, somebody's got like, ton of cards in their hand, or even if your hand sucks, and they have like a Reliquary Tower, it's just one of those decks that they have tons of cards always. You can be like, sorry, I want to make you discard that, and now I want to refill my hand. Thank you very much. And you can do it every turn. And then this guy I like in this deck because it's great. Because it enters the battlefield with X1 when counters on it, where X is the number of other creatures on the battlefield. So this thing can get huge. For example, say it's got 5 creatures on the battlefield. That's, early game, 5 creatures total. So it's a 5/5. But here's the cool part. you can remove a 1/1 counter on it and create a white spirit with flying. So say if it's a 5/5, right, and you remove 4 counters from it to make 4/1/1 spirits. Um, Now there's 9 creatures on the field. So if you blink it with Aminatou, it comes back in as a 9/9. So you just got 4 flyers and now a 9/9. And you could repeat that on your next turn if you got the mana for it. And just make armies and armies of tokens. And also, if you got Cast Crusade out, boom, those tokens are getting ridiculously big each turn. Great combo card. Alright, that's the creatures we got. Also, I just want to point this out. It's a 0 on its power, so it works with Revelark. So, yeah, pretty good stuff there. Alright. That's our good old everything except for our mana base. Now, our mana base is pretty simple. Like I said, I don't go overboard on most of my decks with the mana base because mana base can just get crazy. So I keep it simple. White Memorial, Black Memorial, Tapper, comes into play tapped, Cycler, tap gain a life, can make stuff loose hexproof on your opponents, Cycle Land, it comes into play, but it has recursion effects. Temple of False Gods, Opal Palace. Like I said, this is a lot, very basic, very simple mana base. Comes into play tapped. Comes into play tapped, but you gain a life. Comes into play tapped, but you gain a life. Tap, it provides any of your colors. Tapped. Tapped. Tap life. Tapped. Quick land. Check land. Fetch land. And I don't know what to call that one, but it comes into play tapped unless you reveal a swamp or an island or plains. So those are our non-basics. Like I said, really simple. No fetches, no shock lands. Although they're reprinting the shock lands in the Ravnica set, so might pick up some of those. Four islands, 5 plains, 5 swamps, so 14 basic lands. It's just a total of 36 lands in this deck. Pretty basic land base. And that's my Aminatou deck. Lots of blinky recursion. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Let me know. Like as usual, let me know if you would play a deck like this, or what cards would you put in it that I might have missed, or just whatever, your thoughts on the deck itself. What decks would you like to see me make next, or show and brew up next for you guys? Let me know. Put them in the comments. If I got it, I'll do it. If I don't, I'll just let you know I don't. Also, I just want to thank you guys for your support. And don't forget to, check out the Nico Bolas video and watch it. Leave comments for your entry into the giveaway of the $25 gift card to TCG Player I'm doing. All the details are on the Nico Bolas video, and it's a pretty cool video. It's a Travel Dragon video. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys have a great night, great weekend, and catch you next time on Magic in the Basement.